What is meditation to you? To me, meditation is deeply connected to what it means to be human. As human beings, we are playing a role. Think of an actor who is chosen to play a part in a film. At first, the actor knows clearly who they are and who the character is. But imagine that after many years of playing the same role, the actor slowly forgets their true identity. They begin to believe that the character is who they really are. They get stuck in the role and forget their real self. Being human is very similar to this. We come into this physical world to have a human experience, but over time we forget that it is only an experience, only a role. We say, I am this body, or I am this name, or I am this story, but none of these things are truly us. This body is temporary. The name we carry is temporary. The personality we believe we are is also temporary. It is all part of the role we are playing. We are like actors on a stage, deeply involved in the performance. Over many lifetimes, or even just over many years, we become consumed by the world. We become attached to our roles, our achievements, our failures, our pain, and our pleasures. Slowly, we forget who we were before we stepped into this human form. At some point in life, something shifts. Often, this shift comes during times of deep hardship or suffering. Pain has a strange way of waking us up. Many people do not seek change when life is comfortable. When everything feels fine, we rarely ask deep questions. But when peace disappears, when comfort fades, and when contentment feels out of reach, we start searching. We begin to ask, who am I really? We start to feel that there must be something more than just the mind, the body, and the endless noise of the world. This search for truth needs a process. It needs a path, a tool, or a vehicle. Meditation is one of those tools. It is not the only one. Some people pray. Some repeat mantras. Some devote their lives to serving the divine. There are many ways to walk the spiritual path. Meditation is simply one powerful way to help close the gap between I don't know who I am and I am beginning to understand myself beyond the body and the mind. Meditation gives us permission to forget for a short time who we think we are. It allows us to step away from our labels, our stories, and our identities. When you sit in meditation, you are gently saying, let me put this role down for a moment. You are not trying to become something new. Instead, you are creating space to remember what has always been there. Meditation is the vehicle through which we slowly let go of the false self and begin to touch something deeper and more real. When you first sit down to meditate, thoughts will come. This is completely normal. These thoughts are connected to who you believe you are at this moment. They might be about work, family, money, plans, memories, fears, or regrets. Emotions may arise as well, such as sadness, anger, joy, or anxiety. All of these things belong to the separate self, the individual identity. They are part of the role you are playing. But here is the key point. You are not that role. You are not the thoughts. You are not the emotions. You are not even the human identity you carry. Understanding this makes meditation much easier. Many people ask, why should I sit still and focus on my breath? How does this help me spiritually? The answer is simple. Meditation helps you experience, not just believe, that you are not the body. When you reach certain states in meditation, you naturally begin to forget the body. You may still be sitting there, but your awareness shifts inward. This does not require an out-of-body experience. It simply means that your attention is no longer trapped in physical sensations or mental noise. In everyday life, our senses are always directed outward. We are constantly looking, listening, touching, tasting, and thinking about the external world. This outward focus keeps us engaged in the illusion of separation. Meditation asks us to do the opposite. We close our eyes. We keep the body still. We stop chasing thoughts. Instead of being pulled outward, we gently turn inward.
This inward movement is where real transformation begins. The breath plays an important role here. When we focus on the breath, we give the mind something simple and neutral to rest on. The breath does not carry a story. It does not create drama. It is just there. By observing it, the mind slowly becomes quieter. When the mind has nothing to react to, something beautiful happens. Awareness begins to expand. You start to feel more spacious, more open, and less limited by thoughts. Many people believe that they are the ones doing the meditation. They say, "I meditated today," as if they achieved something through effort alone. But over time, a deeper understanding arises. You begin to see that you are not the doer. All you really do is show up. You sit down. You create the intention. You make the space. What happens next is not entirely in your control. True meditation happens when something greater meets you there. This is where the divine comes in. The divine is the energy, the essence, or the intelligence that animates everything. When you sit in stillness with sincerity, that energy meets you. When this communion happens, meditation becomes more than a practice. It becomes an experience of the divine. It becomes a moment where you feel connected to something vast, loving, and timeless. This is true meditation, not effort, but surrender. This idea can be understood through everyday examples. People often say, "I achieved success," or "I built my business," or "I became financially free." While effort is involved, they forget something important. The body they used to achieve these things is not fully under their control. The heart beats without permission. The lungs breathe without instruction. Digestion happens without thought. So much of what keeps us alive happens on its own. Yet we take full credit for outcomes that depended on systems far beyond our control. Meditation works in the same way. Yes, you must show up. Yes, you must make time. Sometimes you sacrifice comfort, like choosing meditation instead of watching a movie. That small effort matters. But the deeper experience, the expansion of awareness, the feeling of unity, that does not come from personal effort alone. It comes from grace. Recognizing this humbles us. It removes spiritual ego and replaces it with gratitude. This humility is important. Without it, spiritual ego can arise. We may start to think we are special or superior because we meditate or follow a spiritual path. True meditation dissolves ego instead of feeding it. It helps us realize that the very thing we are trying to understand is the same force that is already running everything. Meditation takes us from ignorance to direct experience. It slowly pulls us out of the role we have become lost in. We stop identifying completely with the actor and begin to remember the awareness behind the role. Eventually, life continues, but it feels different. You still play your human part. You still work, love, struggle, and grow. But deep inside, you know you are not limited to this role. This is what it means to be in the world, but not of the world. You are present, but not trapped. You are involved, but not lost. Meditation is the bridge that takes you there. It is the transition from believing you are only human to experiencing yourself as something divine. In this sense, meditation is not just a practice. It is a communion with God, a quiet remembering of who you truly are. Here's a question for you. Have you ever paused and wondered who you really are beyond your thoughts, your body, and the roles you play every day?